Religion, the concept of some higher power in its providence controlling our fates and destinies, like a poet writes his stories. Its roots within human history runs deep, possibly being present all the way back during the era of Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. As Jean Sorabella from the Met describes, in a society that laid great emphasis on religion and required religious images, artists performed an indispensable service and had to work within the structure of tradition. This would explain the many instances of religious imagery and depictions found throughout history, as religion was much more than prevalent than today. After all, Roman Greek mythology, that would technically be religion for the Greeks and the Romans back during their era. To start, we have The Taking of Christ by Caravaggio. By starting with the title, we can decipher that the painting depicts the event where Judas, the 12th disciple, betrays Jesus. You can even spot Judas leaning in for his infamous kiss. The most outstanding detail to note in this work would be, well, the detail and the chiaroscuro, or also known as the contrast between the darker colors and the lighter colors of the painting. Caravaggio's usage of these elements portrayed Christ, not as a holy figure, but as a human. A human who, like any other mortal, has just experienced a bout of betrayal by the hands of one of his most trusted disciples. Most pieces of art from the Baroque period, according to Kelly Richmond Abdul, have one thing in common: drama. As can be seen with the style and overall atmosphere of this painting, it just screams drama. After all, this event you could consider a tragedy. This fact is especially crucial when you put it into comparison with many religious paintings from, say, the medieval period, where Christ has always been depicted as this divine being, where he's always the center of attention, where he's always glowing with divine power. Yet here he's depicted as a mortal that has been trapped within the midst of a tragedy. So let's rewind all the way back to early Renaissance. So early, in fact, that this painting was founded in between the medieval and Renaissance, that little transition period. This piece of art is known as the Crucifixion and Last Judgment Diptych, and it is drawn by John van Eyck. And it depicts two halves of the same figure. On the left, we have the crucifixion, the event that marks the end of Christ's mortality. And on the right, we have what I believe to be the events of Revelations, also known as the end of the world. After all, what else could be depicted there? Christ is depicted as a dying mortal, experiencing the pain and carrying on the sins of the people on one side, while he's depicted as a savior, saving those who have done no wrong and are deserving of his mercy on the other. This piece of art represents the transition from religious conformity to religious freedom. Religion, while its reaches are far and deep, slowly but surely became untangled. This was drawn during the transition between the medieval and the Renaissance, where the latter was known for its religious reforms and the former its religious oppressions. By the words of Leslie Kennedy from History.com, humanism was one of the key factors of this religious reform. Humanism was the movement of people starting to worship the human body, the human, not the divine. This notably caused a shift from glorifying higher beings to just us. Hence why depictions of Christ start to stray away from that divine look of the medieval and of a more human look that's more of the signature look of the Renaissance and everything onward. In summary, religion was never outright discarded. It will never be. Rather, it was transformed and used as a medium for artists to express themselves. Somewhat like how nowadays artists use pop culture, such as anime or TV shows or cartoons. This, in a way, shows that religion, regardless of where it goes or where it will always be a part of human history and as a part of human life for the foreseeable future. Even if its prevalence has simmered out nowadays, it's undeniable that religion will always exist in some way, shape, or form.